Odense, Betway, MSI, Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, and ESEA. Vodafone presents the pre-match.
And the road to Odense continues as we look to get into our first matchup of the day, the best of three that is going to be Sharks versus North here. And there's a potential for a Danish crowd right here in front of the hometown favorites of North. My name is Trace Saranthus. It's time for us to dive into the pre-match, and I could not possibly do that alone, so we have Natu and Pimp here to help guide this thing through. Guys, are we expecting a banger here, or is this spelling the end for one of these guys?
I'm afraid to say that I'm expecting one of these teams to be blown out without setting any names on them. I think one of these teams is definitely better than the other, and I think one of these teams are supposed to go far in this tournament, whereas the other one are supposed to gain some experience and just do as well as they can while they learn.
I think Sharks, yeah, they're definitely a good team, and they should go far in this tournament.
There you go.
Well, world rank 8 versus unranked and nowhere to be found. But even if we look over there on the side of Sharks, we can begin to talk a little bit about this roster and really who all it encompasses. What sticks out to you, Natu?
Knack, because he's a player that used to play in MIBR way back when. I played against him 15 years ago.
Damn.
Or so. So he's been around the block.
He must be really old.
He's 30. I'm 33, so yeah.
Wow.
We got that.
I hear there's this new team on the rise called the Old Guys Club, but anyway, that's for a different time. What we do have now is an interview with Sharks, so let's go ahead and check in with them, see what they had to say going into this best of three.
I've got Knack with me from Shark Esports, and I'm excited for this one. Not only is he a veteran of the game, an X1.6 player, used to play for MIBR back in the day as well, and now you're here on Sharks. You've got a big opponent in North, a best of three though, and I just want to kind of know how you guys are feeling, because you play quite an aggressive style of CS, right? And do you think that's something that may be able to catch North off guard?
Yeah, definitely. We are trying to just play our game, like play with confidence, and believe that we can do a good job. Yesterday things went not good for us, so today we are trying to be confident and play our game. Yeah.
Now, what does it mean to you guys to be here at the Pro League Finals and competing against some of the best teams in the world? Do you think this is a good chance for you to show your level and kind of get a bit more better practice as well?
Yeah, of course. It's like a huge experience for us. We have like a lot of young guys, and it's good to be here because we practice a lot, we learn a lot, but it's our second time here, so we are like trying to think that it's not just time to learn, it's time to show something more, and that's what we're trying to do right now.
I like it. I like the idea behind it. Now, coming into this matchup, what do you think is going to be the deciding factor that helps you win against North?
It's like I said, we have to play with confidence and believe that our game it's on point.
Well, let's see if it is on point, man. Good luck in the game. Stunner, Shark Esports, they've got the confidence. They believe they can do it. Let's see if they can.
We will see if they can do it, and it could be hard for them to culture some of that confidence, considering the 16-2 thrashing they got yesterday from their brothers in Made in Brazil.
It didn't help the fact that they were not really being a lot successful. They started on T side of Inferno, not really getting into the bomb sides too much with big numbers. So that's always a big issue if you're not even getting into the bomb sides, and a lot of the rounds are just ending prematurely.
Another big issue is the fact that none of the players we just saw on that screen had over 10 kills. I know they only played 18 rounds, but one of them should at least to step up and show a little bit of individual brilliance that could give you hopes that they can go up against North, but nobody did.
Well, today will be a little bit different for these guys, as they will be looking to take on a best of three, tackling it head on, and we're going to get to jump right into the vetoes and find out which three maps we could be seeing, albeit could be only two. But let's see where we're going, guys.
Yeah, I think, first of all, just the approach for the veto for North, because it's such a lopsided matchup that you just want to make sure that you're playing it safe, even if let's say that even if Sharks were to float a map, for example, you don't want to kind of try to pick on it. For example, if they don't play Overpass, it's not being tremendously great map for North. You don't want to be the one that go for that, because there's a lot of question marks that would be raised. So, yeah, you would definitely play it safe if you're North.
To me, it makes sense that North just get rid of cash, and that may sound like a little bit bold to say, considering that North have a 100% win rate on cash, but that is also Sharks' best map because they have a 91% win rate. Obviously, those are not against the greatest opponents, whereas North are against teams like NRG. But you don't, as you said, you don't want to take any any chances. You want to float anything up to the randomness of this veto. So it would make sense to me if North would just get rid of Cash, and then Sharks get rid of Overpass. They don't play that map, and there you go. You have 5 maps you can pick between. And for North's sake, you know, pick into their strengths. Inferno is definitely one of North's best maps, so I expect that to be in there. Whereas for Shark, they can go different routes with this one. Train is an option, Mirage is an option.
Well, we seemingly have a little bit of an error there, but we do know the maps, I do believe, right away. We know what maps we're going to be going to. Is that correct, guys? I know you might have had an inkling.
I know something, yeah. I think I know the first map is going to be Mirage at least, and I assume that is Shark that picked into that. Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah, the second map is going to be Inferno. That must have been North who picked into that, and I believe the third map is, can't even remember that. I think it's Nuke, which is sort of like an even ground for both teams, in the sense that North is definitely better than Shark Gaming on Nuke, but that's the most even you get.
Yeah, I mean, Inferno, good pick for North for 2 reasons. First of all, good map for them, but also them probably having looked at what happened yesterday between MIBR and Sharks, so that's definitely going to help.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump into something that you've kind of taken note to here. You do have a keen eye for what is Danish Counter-Strike, and I believe you can begin to highlight something here on the North.
Yeah, I got to play with my little toy over here. And I, guys, sort of like want to show you what you can expect from North going into Mirage. I know they got a new in-game leader, so it's no longer MSL leading the team. It is Cadian, but they stick to some of the old cores and old values of this North lineup.
As you
One
should.
of the things, as they should, exactly. One of the things I want to show you is how they approach the anti-eco rounds, which is they do it very, very clear and very conscious every single time. So I'm going to showcase on the Telestrator here how they do it, and it may seem a little bit over-exaggerated, but that's exactly what North is doing. So they do a simple A-go here, where you smoke off CT spawn, you smoke off the jungle area, you smoke off stairs, and they have also 2 Molotovs being thrown, one towards the firebox here, and one towards this one area, so you can't go through the smoke. What happens is that North exceed to go out of the balcony area, they go out of the slump area as well, and they have a guy in middle making sure to keep some pressure on middle as well. This seemed like a normal buy round strat. This seems like a default A-go in that sense, but they use it in their anti-ecos because they want to make sure that they win that 100%. One of the things North do so well is the fact that they take their anti-ecos seriously, and that's a Danish mentality. You don't want to leave any chances or leave any risk up to the opponents. That's why they use so many nades, and that's why they play it out as we're the buy round.
I think a lot of teams actually fall into a trap when they're playing against ecos, is that they don't use utility enough. You usually make sure you have a couple guys that have all the mollies of the world to make sure that you can get the cockroaches out of the corners.
Kind of support that movement.
Yeah, exactly. So it works.
Well, we're going to begin to make our movement and bring in our commentators now, because it won't be long before we jump into this game. We do have Hugo Byron and Harry Russell sitting by, and wow, that's quite the shirt there, Harry.
Yeah, you know me, Trace. I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, I'm supporting leopard sharks, and leopards also like a big cat. I figured that kind of works.
You're really pushing for this narrative.
I really am, aren't I? Yeah. It's I don't know if it's. Well, you can't talk, mate. What's going on?
I don't. I'm a shark that's just been made into a stew, Harry. I really don't know what's going on here, but yeah, this is going to be a pretty sick game. I'm excited to get into it. Obviously, underdog potential is always fun, but North are looking so good right now.
Yeah, they almost certainly are. For me, I'm curious to see the Sharks roster and how they perform, right? Because you think back to the game yesterday, and Leo Drunky had a very bad time of things, right? There was a time where I think he was down like -1 to, off the top of my head, it was like -1 to 14 or something like that. So he really wasn't having the game of a lifetime.
Let's hope he is staying away from the drink today as we head into this one, though, Harry. A best of 3, a pretty important matchup for the likes of North, who want to be going far against the Sharks boys as we head into this pistol round. It's a quick A play for that North side. Knack in towards the CT spawn, and already a dink coming through, but Sharks have taken that man advantage, swiftly traded by Gade, and the bomb going down for North in a 4-on-4 post-block.
Well, here's Knack raided. Oh, he's going to go out and find himself too, so Knack's made this one possible. We did hear Nati said he's been around the block, he's been here a little while, and he's going to look to try and show his hand and perhaps some of that experience now. Gade, in the meantime, down here in mid. That bomb is ticking down. They have to try and flush these players out. And luckily enough, they do manage to deal with AZ down on the ramp, leaving Gade up in this 1-on-3. They're not on that bomb just yet, though. The kit over on RCF going to be grabbing that defuse. And yeah, they do manage to find Gade alone and trap down in mid, isolate him pretty easily. And well, be Sharks securing themselves this pistol round.
That was all on the flank there. Really nice play from Sharks in the retake to actually slow down the pace, allow time for Exit to come in from ramp to take down AZ, who was locking down that bomb site with the P250. And just playing that slow, patient style, while it got a little bit close, they did manage to pick it up. So Sharks starting things off strong. Obviously coming into their map pick as well, it's going to be exactly where they want to take that pistol round, show us what they can do on this T side. And yeah, this is something that's been echoed throughout, you know, what we've seen from Sharks, is that we don't really know what to expect from this team. This is a relatively unknown team at this kind of level of Counter-Strike. Will they be able to keep the pace up? Will they be able to, you know, show off against North?
Let's see. I mean, already this shot hasn't exactly started off the way they would have liked. RCF and Genty going to do what they can to get back into it. But Valde's going to go and find himself a second. Ooh, and a third as well. The CZ going to start to roar to life as Sharks getting a taste of Valde on this CZ. Finally managed to flush him out. And AZ now left up in the 1v2. Does have a Deeg to work with, but sadly he's going to get shut down straight away. So Sharks, they managed to convert that round. It gets pretty costly for them though. It's not entirely for free. And that was for the most part the eco round coming on in from North. They had a bit of investment thanks to that bomb plant. But now they have this buy on the horizon. They can get these rifles in early. And you're going to take a look at that buy that Sharks have here. And, you know, because they lose 3 players in that round there, it is going to leave them a little bit strapped for cash looking at the future. Another interesting thing quickly, I mean, 2 Orgs already brought out into this third round. Big fan of that.
Yeah, love a good Org. Nax having a great start to this game. Obviously a legendary player in terms of the length of time he's been playing this game, and especially considering in the last couple of years we've seen this rise up of, you know, old school Brazilian players, you know, coming to the top, at least tier of Counter-Strike right now. Maybe there's going to be more returning, but Sharks right now sitting at a 2-0, still got a long road to climb to fight and take this map away from North, who are equipped with AKs and sitting in the middle portion of the map as well. They've been given a lot of room. RCF does get a kill as that window boost is shut down, and now we will see that split towards the A bomb site. But look at the setup from Sharks. With 4 players in position, this is going to be very difficult for North.
Well, let's see. Smoke is down right now, and that's going to allow Gades in a safe passage. Exit. Ooh, look at him go. He's going to go ahead and find himself 3, almost the 4th, but JNT will be there to trade things out. The Orgs claiming themselves a couple of frags early on here, and Sharks straight out of the gate. They're looking good, Hugo.
Look at that ADR, yeah. 219.
That is that's pretty spicy over on your man Exit.
Yeah, that was pretty telegraphed to Sharks. So they obviously went for a bit of a gamble coming into the first rifle round, not expecting a B rush considering North did it in the previous eco. And so they go for the quad A stack. They play passive on middle as well, which really baited North into going for that A play, and catching the window boost only confirmed their suspicions. Sharks with a nice call, but North are back on pistols for now. This is not going to be an easy round for North to really find too much, but Harry, think back to that other eco down on B. Valde was able to get a lot of damage off here for the Danes. However, with no armor on anyone apart from Kiebi and AZ, certainly looking like a 4th one for Sharks.
Yeah, you would imagine so. But let's keep our eye on this one. North going to be setting up over here toward this A-bomb site. That's where Exit currently lies await. The man with almost 220 ADR here over on the side of Sharks. He's been having a great start and a chance maybe to pad those stats even more. Down in CT as well, you've got Knack. He's going to be holding on to that Incendiary that he can go throwing on in along with Exit to try and slow down this play as it does come in. Now, Gabe's already gotten up and past that Molotov, so he's already a thorn in the side of this North roster, starting to creep on into the bomb side. Exit, he's been flashed off the angle. He's had to give it up, and that's led Gabe to find himself an opener here. He's already deep within the jungle, and Sharks, they don't belong in the jungle.
Yeah, this retake's going to be well and truly on. Sharks another gamble, this time towards the B side, and it's not paying off, but look at the refrags coming in from the CT side. Kiebi, one more bullet left, he can't finish off the kill. JNT standing strong in the jungle, and RCF is locking down the ramp. It's AZ alone again in this position, and even with 3 players up, they're going to stick the bomb. Sharks don't care for AZ, and he's not going to be able to have a chance past that 1 Deeg. So another round for Sharks, but one thing to note about these rounds is they're not looking to be free for Sharks. They're definitely getting tested here with these pistols. North are getting into post-plant situations. They're getting entries onto bomb sites. And, you know, obviously this is still a 4-0 for Sharks, but once we get guns in the hands of North, that's where things could get very complicated once again.
Regardless, it's been a good start here for Sharks. You know, haven't really seen all too much from them yesterday in their game versus MIBR, obviously. I mean, pretty hard opponent to match up against, I think. Obviously you have that sort of the fact that it's a bit more of a domestic matchup.
Yeah.
In that sense, people always say that's kind of when you play like your most lights out, but also like maybe even a different style of CS. Leo Drunky, he was someone I kind of highlighted, didn't have the best of games yesterday. He's going to be the man to open things up in this round. So Sharks, 4-0 up, man advantage secured here. They're really looking to try and bring home the bagels, Hugo. This is what we didn't quite manage to catch down to the bottom left. You see that he pushed into the apartment, secured a bit of a foothold there for Sharks early on, and that's forced North's hand. They're going back towards this A bomb, so they're going to try and find solace in A. The only issue is Sharks, they've read this incredibly well, and they've already got 3 players here. One of those being JNT on that AWP, ready to home down his sights over here towards ramp.
Yeah, and Cadian, he's got to be the one trying to find openers here for North as well. He's got his own AWP, but Sharks, they're stacked up on this bomb site. Knack going to fall off as the Molotov lands underneath the balcony. He's left in the open. JNT gets flashed, shoots off a shot. That gives away the position of the AWP, and they will smoke him off, but it won't make a difference with him having this view over the top. And with players on his side, Sharks can just pick North apart once again. Another clean round so far, and with no real time left up, Cadian, he's got to scatter. He's got to run. He's like a lion out of water, Harry. Or maybe a lion in water.
Yeah.
Because the Sharks, they've smelt the blood and they are hunting him down.
Well, Cadian. Almost edging into the waiting arms of Knack. Indeed he will. So yeah, Sharks 5-0 up. North, this is certainly not the start I envisioned. Sharks over here on Mirage, a map that they feel pretty comfortable on, right? You can give them that at least. But, North, it's not a bad map for them either, right? You kind of think about it. You look at some of the players in this team and, some of their past performances perhaps on this map, whether it's in this team or in other rosters, right? It's normally been a pretty decent map for them.
On top of that, you have to remember the game yesterday versus NRG. Now, NRG have been a team on the rise as of late, and not to say that, obviously NRG did beat North, but it was a close game. North put up a really good fight. They showed some really good T-side rounds especially. So it's not like North, are coming into this tournament not playing well. They just had a bad start to the event, and they can't afford to let this get ahead of them because Sharks right now 5-0. The Danes back on this A-bomb site. They've actually taken it with a full execute. They've forced Sharks out. They've made them play for the retake. But there's plenty of nades, plenty of kits, and plenty of Sharks.
Oh, Kirby only good for 1 before RCF is nearby to go ahead and pick up that trade. Now we are back into this 4-on-4. This is probably the best situation we've really seen North be in throughout the game thus far. And Gade, he tries to go barreling through, tries to find something, and at least what he has done is he has kind of got their attention away from mid for the time being, and that's bought AZ some time to come in on this flank. And now it is just Leo Drunky, the man who struggled so much yesterday versus MIBR. He will fall short in the clutch, just asking a little too much of him. North managing to find their first round, only keeping 1 man alive though, as Cadian does drop to the bomb at the end.
But even that kind of style from Cadian is what I like to see, just running through a smoke, taking a gunfight like that when you're in a post plant, when you know he can't stick that bomb. North individually, on paper, I mean, these guys should just be out-aiming Sharks. So definitely a chance to flex on them here as we head into, obviously, the map pick of the Brazilians. And the buy again. They've got the AWP still in the hands of JNT. We've obviously not got Cadian on the AWP as North. While they won the previous round, they only kept 1 man alive, and that's going to really cripple the money. Already Sharks. One thing you can notice is they really love to give up mid. We do have, obviously, that AUG in position towards the window, but RCF, he's never actually peeked out on early contact. Maybe being aware of the fact that North, they're going to be very good at finding this early advantage in the middle area. So if Sharks just give it up, they can play their man advantages. If they had good reads and if they play for information, these peaks and B apartments, this allows them to stack up bomb sites and just try and play North in that sense. And it's actually seemed to be working out, as you can see the scoreline 5-1. But 3 players on the A site plus a man in window, and North looking to put the pressure on.
They almost certainly are, JNT. Ooh, gonna miss that shot, and now just drops back passively into CT. You can see Knack, knowing that they've lost control of Connector, has to take this aggression into Palace. Luckily enough, it does work out for him. He's able to find AZ, so now they have a really strong foothold in this portion of the map. But no, they've left mid open, and Kirby, he's just got walking in. You can't afford to give him that sort of territory. Well, that does answer back as well, but that's the bomb drop. This has been a very chaotic round, and Cadian tries to save the day. But the Orcs keep the Lions at bay. That will be a 6-1 scoreline here for the Sharks.
That was just a case of there being 2 or 3 players from each team on either side of the murder hole, and every time one player got a kill, they didn't expect a second man there. You could even see Kieber, he gets that first frag on the RCF with his back turned. He runs forward and he dies to Exit. Exit pushes back in, not expecting another team. There's Valde holding the angle. I mean, that was just trading in the murder hole. You see why they call it that. And now North, Harry, they've been reset. They lost another buy round after winning their first on this T side. Now, we are early days. This is a best of 3, but this is a 6-1 scoreline in a game that North should be winning hands down on paper. So great work from Sharks so far, but definitely getting worrying here for the Danish.
Yeah, I mean, for North, this is, you know, certainly not what you would have expected, right? Sharks, you know, obviously they're a team that have shown a lot of promise within the region. You know, they had to do that just to get here, right? But when you kind of look at their achievements, you look at the events that they've been attending, the teams that they play against, it is, you know, not really of the same caliber of North. This is one that I think, you know, the Danes coming into this, you know, being on home soil, having the crowd behind them now, because, you know, we do have like that audience in that sense. You know, you imagine this would be a good chance for them to kind of set a precedent, right? Send a bit of a message that they're not a team to be messed around with. Whereas Sharks, they're looking fantastic right now. I really didn't expect to see this sort of caliber, at least not straight out the gate, right? I figured maybe it would be a bit of a grind to get back into it. You think about as well how their game versus MIBR went down yesterday, but here's North in with an A-side setup. They're going to try and throw in these smokes and flashes now. Just try and brute force their way into a bomb site if they can. You've got Exit holding close to ramp and Knack watching from CT. Exit's going to get found straight away, and Knack is only able to get one, so the man advantage picked up here for North as that bomb looks to go down, but they found Valder on the cross, and that's bought crucial time. Also, don't forget to keep your eye on Leo Drunky as he rotates back through T-spawn. 3-on-3, and a good chance for North to find something. A lot of this going to fall onto Leo.
Yeah, this retake, again, Sharks being patient. They're waiting for that flank to come in position before they push, but the bomb, it's already a third-way ticked, if not more, so they're going to start to really run out of time on this. Guns have been retrieved from the North players, and a Molotov to try and force a man out into the open to set Leo up. RCF can't get the kill, but Leo shows his hand from the back of the Palace, gets himself one, and the wall bang. Fantastic work for Sharks. The retake is on. And that was just so well played on the delay. I was wondering if North would be able to get away with that, considering the initial setup of Sharks, right? They have all these players over towards B and not stacked on A. They've got a man down instantly on ramp and only a 1-for-1 trade up by the back of CT. But North, despite having the man advantage, it's all about that bomb cross, right? Out in the open, I think it was Valde, doesn't go behind the smoke and try and plant default because he wanted to get an open plant for his team. And as a result, it will lose in the round.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, one thing that has been kind of good is with Sharks. What I will say is, you know, we haven't really seen them feel like it's been tested all too much. It's just going to be another A play, by the way, for North. They're just going to try and run on in, just waterfall out from Palace. It's a very explosive play. You try and get the bomb down, you try and find something with these blocks, and if you get a bomb plant, that's fantastic, but it doesn't really look like the Sharks are going to let them get away with too much. The bomb does go down. But as I was saying is, you know, with Sharks, we haven't really seen them tested yet. And, you know, I mean, what we have seen from them looks good, right? In a lot of these retakes, I think they've played the situations very, very well. You take a look at how they've kind of tried to start these rounds off with players like Leo pushing up into the apartments to secure a bit of a foothold there early on. And their reads and stuff have been very, very good as well.
Yes.
But we haven't really seen much diversity yet from North. I'm still waiting for us to see, you know, what happens when North do try and throw a bit of a spanner in the works, do take a longer default, for example.
And this is the time to do it, right? If you want to throw in something that can catch off Sharks, I'd love to see North abuse the lack of mid-control that Sharks have put any pressure on, right? I'd love to see a fast cat split to B with 3 in the apartments with that bomb, right? Get the utility down. You know that Sharks have not been contesting that middle portion of the map, so why not just go really, really fast into it? We'll see. Maybe a game plan for later, but Sharks are going to already switch things up. JNT fights middle with the AWP. First time we've seen it. He drops out through the window. He now sits in the back of connector. North aren't pressuring the top of mid, but they are coming in through the underpass, so he's got to be very aware of that as Knack gets aggressive. JNT, he has peeked underpass, and he's taken down Valde. A free kill for Sharks, and they even get further map control down towards ramp. This is great information play so far. They can be somewhat assured once they see another man on ramp. This is going to be the A split, and now they can rotate a player off B as a result. Knack, he might not need to rotate. He's found 1 and more damage. Exit's going to move into position, and Gade surely won't expect that one. Bomb dropped. 8-1 scoreline and a 4-on-2. Look at these rotates from the B apartments.
Sharks have just been all over. I mean, my goodness, this is this just feels mental. They've looked so good. Kiebi and AZ left up, but Kiebi's been executed. Now AZ left in a 1v4. This just feels like there should be no way for it. But indeed there's not, because Leo Drunky, he might have been quiet yesterday. He might have had a very, very poor debut on day one versus MIBR. But let me tell you, he's got his sleep in. You know, he's had a nice little, you know, he's forgot about yesterday. You know,
poor guy.
Well,
short-term memory loss is not. It's not a joke.
But you know, he's put the past behind him, and he's been showing up in these last few rounds, finding, you know, might be sitting bottom of the board, but he's been finding crucial kills for the team.
This almost looks like a case of North, you know, undervaluing Sharks, maybe unexpecting, you know, this kind of level of play from them, considering the scoreline we saw against MIBR. They're going to try and muscle them, going to try and deathmatch, as they side put the death matches on the CT side right now. They picked up AKs, they're finding one shots. Exit's going to kill down, take down Kiebi, and even drop the bomb in the open. That's a huge error from North. Gade had utility in the Palace, but instead of smoking the jungle, they run out with the bomb. And that is exactly what you get if you go for that kind of blasé play on the A site. Shredded, Harry.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing for me now is Sharks early on, you look at it, and it was them originally, you know, having like great reads, you know, a lot of information, taking control of the apartments, things like that. These last few rounds, they've just been really uninspired from North. I mean, it feels like maybe they've already kind of started to just, I don't want to say give up, because it's still super early days. And obviously for North, like, you know, there's a lot on the line here. They don't want to be, taking an early exit here from, you know, Pro League Finals while it's on Danish soil. Yeah. If you are this North organization. But they're just not trying anything that's inspiring any confidence at this point in time, Hugo. I mean, you take a look at all these rounds, they always just kind of culminate into one of these A plays eventually.
And to think about it, the most successful round they had all game is that eco round on B on round number 2, right? When they go B with CZs and Valda gets 3. They've not gone to the B site since that round, and it's been 12.
And I mean, not only that, this is really one of the ones where we finally see them starting to focus a bit more on trying to take this mid presence, trying something else. You know, you keep on running the same thing again, but expecting different results. Actually, I think
that's madness.
Yeah, that is. There you go. And Gade, wow, he's managed one. We're back to A, back to familiar ground here for North. Only this time, Knack actually going to go ahead and dispatch Arcadian. Kiebi go for one more, but Exit, he's been causing them some problems. Gade not able to pick up that trade either. And now, just AZ and Gade. Now only Gade left standing, and in a 1v3, there's players all around. Exit, 4 frags for him, and this one as he digs deep and bails Sharks out of that potentially dangerous situation. You know, you look at that round up until Exit steps up. You had Gade over in ladder room, who'd been able to find himself a kill. You had Kiebi finding the man down in jungle. The bomb was getting across into the bomb site. That was almost a North round, despite the fact they only had the pistols. But Exit stepping up in such a big way to lock down that round for Sharks.
You can even see Sharks expecting North to you know, switch up this pace. And the last few buy rounds, they've been going for these heavy B stacks with 3 players initially on that bomb site, and they've just not even been needed. North have not gone back to this site. Exit's been locking down connector, and now finally we have that fast cat play from North, something we wanted to see. 2 entries off the back of it. A successful start to this one. Exit, he's got to do what he did in the previous, and that is absolutely own these Ts. But they're going to bypass him for now, go back towards the underpass. They've got those mid picks. They've opened up a lot of the map. And this is going to allow for that B play if they want. But with players in the Palace and the ramp, North may back off. Sharks, having lost 2 players, are going to get aggressive. And the barrel of this gun could stick out. Leo, oh, he's not going to be watching the angle. He has to win this fight because KD is now taking it and Sharks are in a 2-on-5.
Yeah, second KD misses that first bullet. That really is Leo's one chance to pick up that kill. He knows he can't rotate down mid, so he has to keep taking the fight. If he tries to run away, KD can just peek that angle, and he didn't have a teammate nearby to help out. This time, J&T trying to re-aggress, trying to spot something out down and mid gonna get dropped. It's Exit, last man left alive, but he's been the reoccurring hero. He's been that lovable rogue, that big warrior for Sharks thus far, and here he is. I'm gonna try and grab the ball by the horns, peeks on out, does spot the first man and tries to catch players on the cross, but Valda going to shut him down. 1v4, too much for Exit. North going to be picking up their second here in round number 12. But there's still so much money for Sharks. You know, you were 11-1 up until then, you're 11-2 up now. A lot of these rounds coming to be pretty one-sided. the one kind of silver lining there for North is at least at this time, it's not, you know, just one man staying alive in the one round they're able to pick up. They managed to keep 4 players alive, so the money going to be fine, at least looking to the future, which now gives North the opportunity maybe to go for a 4-11 half, and that's recoverable.
Well, that's still a crazy scoreline to be thinking coming into this game, right? But yeah, definitely recoverable. Again, this is North. Like, on paper, this team should be winning this game in a 2-0 fashion. So you know, if you're Sharks, you don't want to get caught up. You don't want to assume this game is done and that it's yours. If there was a team that could come back, I'm sure North could do it on home soil. But this is definitely still looking very, very good for the Brazilians, and an unexpected team to come this far. However, they've not finished this one yet, Harry. AWP going to be up on both sides. We have the Orgs again that Sharks have been so prolific in using. Cadian's going to go for the early AP to try and catch that cross shot, but no one going for it. Sharks just double nading. With only a solo player back towards B, they have somewhat expected another A play for North. And if we look at this current default, while it obviously can change, it's looking like a late round A play. These 2 top mid players able to split underpass or even coming through the top of mid to connector. That bomb as well going in through ramp after an execute, so pretty basic stuff for North right now. And Sharks, they're not going to be pushing. They know the importance of this round. This is the chance they can get to reset North again, like they did after North won their first. And Sharks would just love to break the money and get that 13-2 half.
Well, mate, North should rename themselves to South, because that's the side of the map they're always on. My goodness, they love this A-bomb. So I think we've seen them go B once this entire game thus far. And, you know, even then, you think about it, and that was one of the closer rounds that we've seen from them. But they're going to be setting up for the A-bomb site once again. Just going for the set piece, you know, the standard smokes. You can see them getting lined up over towards the ramp. You're going to go ahead and try and smoke off the cross, stairs, CT. What you're kind of used to seeing. The only issue is, with how Sharks are playing, there's 2 players deep within the bomb site. Those smokes not going to go ahead and nullify these 2 players inside the site. They can keep on taking these fights all day long and play off of one another. RCF is going to get found, though, trying to dodge back through that smoke up towards the stairs. Nak, he's still hidden. He's hiding in this smoke. There's only 20 seconds, so time going to be a real problem here. And even though they've spammed down the man hidden inside of the bomb site, they finally managed to find him, and it will be Exit and Nak falling. Now just J&T. Oh, he's trying to deny the bomb plot, but the bomb does go down in time. Cadian manages one more, but Leo Drunky's in with the trade. And Sharks, my goodness, the blood is in the water, because the Sharks are out in full force. And they're going to be going ahead and grabbing that defuse, picking up a 12th round, now 12-2. And oh, look at the faces on North. Those are not a happy bunch of days. Certainly not how they figured this opening map would have gone.
Yeah, you could see North and Valdi specifically somewhat expected players within the A-bomb site. The reason being is because once they went for that execute and killed the only man they could see, that was RCF, they pushed through the connector smoke to watch the cat rotate and also set themselves up for the post plant. As a result, they spotted no cat rotate. They saw no push in from CT apart from that AWP. And Valdi starts spamming the box, but he doesn't get enough damage off, and we're able to see plenty of distraction from those 2 players on the site, which allows Leo to come in with a clutch. Great work from Sharks once again. The resets here. North are forcing up for the last round with AKs and a Galil. Decent buy, but already Cadian running into the connector is going to get picked off early on. It's a puggy start to this round here at North. Still hitting that A-bomb site. Exit finding the 2nd kill. And there's just no trades for North. They're going out one by one. They're like lambs to the slaughter, lions to the poachers. There's only 2 men left up and not any utility behind it. AZ now alone with 2 HP. And just like that, Harry, we got a 13-2. AZ knows it, we know it, and Sharks definitely know it.
This is just, and this is my issue, it's so uninspired from North, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look like, you know, no one's playing off of one another, no one's playing together. It's not like they're trying and things just aren't working. It's not like they're going for these, you know, kind of, they're not making any real mid-round calls. It does just seem like they have like a set strategy from the offset and they just stick to that regardless. I mean, Sharks, they know they've won this. They know that there you go. Yeah. They managed to do it 13-2 at the end of the first half. And even when you go ahead and you take, I mean, there's been no tactical pause. You think about how North have done this as far. They haven't taken a single pause yet. They haven't, you know, I mean, even when we cut to them, no one's even talking to one another. So
someone woke up on the wrong side of bed today, and Sharks, they didn't even go to sleep, Harry. They've just been absolutely grinding the deathmatch, clearly. These guys are looking on point right now. Exit having an unbelievable game. As you said it yourself, maybe not top of the board, but Leo Drunky, so many impact frags here for his team.
Yeah, and I mean, more so with him, right, the importance of it for this one man is just that, you know, the kind of very very poor performance we saw from him yesterday, right? And then now stepping up, showing that that was just a one-off. Maybe that was just the first day nerves getting to him. And here, on day 2, he's here to play, but there's no denying it. The real star of this game thus far for the Sharks has been Exit. He has been damn near flawless. Just behind him has to be Knack as well. And both of them, by the way, over towards that A bomb site, laying down the pain. And, you know, conveniently so, right? Because the two players that have looked fantastic, that have been stepping up, have both been over inside of A. Coincidentally, where have North gone every 14 rounds out of that 15-round half? The A bomb site. So,
and
you know, if you want to keep on feeding the beast, you can.
Considering mid was just so open as well, that's the biggest surprise to me, right? Like, they just have so much access to mid, and there was just no abuse of it. The only times we saw were, like, fast connector plays attempted, but no cat control really, apart from a couple of ecos.
No, the one round that really springs to mind with the cat control was where Gade pushed it with the Deagle, and once again, that was another round that they almost came close to winning, but not quite, right? Just snatched away, if you recall. Exit from jungle, shut down the other two players crossing into the bomb site, and then it left Gade alone. But having him there, having that presence down in mid was the turning point for North in the few rounds that they were able to pick on up. And you think about it as well, right? The reason why this A bomb site was so hard for North to take was because Sharks, they didn't play a man on mid. They played 3 inside of A. They did leave mid open. And North were never there to take advantage of that fact. So, you know, I mean, essentially, you know, you've got the A bomb site with 1 extra man over really what it usually has. Nice little Shark there up on top of the...
That's pretty cool.
that. But... yeah, I mean, you know, the A bomb site had an extra man in it as a result. The rotations took no time at all to come in. Suddenly, half those smokes that you're throwing in as well are almost useless, right? Those smoke that goes down upstairs and for the cross, normally you do that because there's a man in jungle or maybe down in connector who's been keeping an eye on mid. Well, very rarely they even had anyone in that position. So those 2 smokes effectively become meaningless. And, you know, it meant that Sharks could just hunker down inside of the bomb sites. Now moving to the T side, a pistol round victory here for Sharks could just mean that they close this first map out in a 16-2 fashion.
Well, let's find out, Harry. Crunch time is on. Comeback is possible, but we've got to see something before we even believe it. Sharks are throwing in the execute towards middle. Molotov to deny the window play, but North have no one there. It's a fast A split with the bomb coming through the connector. North already playing retake, and they do have a kid on Gade here in the CT spawn. Cadian going to be side by side, and we already have that bomb going down. Cadian going to try and catch that cross, but he can't. He doesn't want to expose himself to the player in Palace and ramp. JNT already catching a smoke push up on short. This is not going to be a good start for North in a 5-on-4.
Definitely not. At least Kirby looking to try and be the savior, looking to try and be the man to get them back into this round. He has managed to go ahead and pick up the first. Now Kirby hungry for a little bit more. Whoop! Not going to be picking up parkour anytime soon. It's Kirby, but he does catch a bullet at the very least. They're on the defuse though, and RCF not able to get there in time. North managing to find around by sticking the defuse there. That was Gade inside of the smoke to pick it up. So they do manage to win the pistol. They do manage the 3rd round at the very least. Question now for North is can they pick this up, you know, and start to get back into this game? Because a 13-3 scoreline, all we need to see is one of those big plays from Exit, one of those big plays from Knack, and you know, suddenly this is a Sharks map.
Yeah, of course it does give North the buffer of actually starting to warm up on this second half. You get a rifle round in, play against pistols here for Sharks, just get a chance to, well, go hunting in the waters. Kierby's already found himself 2 in middle. Exit going to try and use the MTA site, but there's a man below him anyway. Gade, he's on the hunt. He's on the chase. He wants the frags, and he will get it. This is going to be nice and clean for North. Good to see. You did want that confidence round from them. Leo looking for the dig in middle. JNT in the meantime trying to abuse the B site, but it's going to be locked down right now. And I don't think North are going to be seeing any casualties in this round. JNT doesn't even know the Valdi crossed either, which makes things even more problematic. 4 rounds to North, and you've really got to take this round by round if you are them coming into this, Harry. You can't, you know, get into your head about how long this comeback is going to be, step by step. But we do have the buy here for Sharks.
Yeah, this is really where we get to see the test, right, for North. If they manage to pick this round up and they manage to keep things clean, there's a good chance that they can build back into this game, right? They leave that avenue open. At least over in the North camp, money's not the biggest problem because they've gone for this bonus round here, but even then you run the risk of handing a 14th over the Sharks. So, you know, it's a bit of a gamble, but I think it's one that North can definitely test the waters with. Then again, don't know if shark-infested water is the water I'd want to be testing, but let's see. AZ up here on shore. He's making a lot of noise, and These Lone Sharks, they're here to collect their debts. So he's gone back and away. That nade going to go ahead and dunk down Drunky, and RCF over in Connector. Leo going to start to lead this charge on in. And actually, he's the spearhead on this offensive. Kirby's been forced out of the jungle. Gade's going to find one more, and Cadian now from CT left almost alone. He's got to try and buy a bit of time for these rotations. They are just in jungle, but Cadian gets beheaded. And as they cut the head of the beast off, this Lion can't do any thinking no more. That's the brain of the operations removed. And Valda left in this 1v3. Only a UMP to work with. No defuse kit either. I think there's one down here in mid that he can pick up. He's managed the first man, but he's still got 2 more yet to find.
Yeah, and what a huge play from J&T as well. This just shows the value of one player going off at this kind of scoreline. And Valdi already realizes it. This one's done. This one's over. No kit. He's got to save that AK-47. And that's all Sharks needed. A hero play, a 3K on that A-bomb site, and they're going to be up to 14 rounds. North still going to have money playing off the back of the loss bonus, so they're going to have the options to pull in all the rifles they need. But you are still playing up against a near defeat on Sharks map pick. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3. We have Inferno and Nuke following up after this, so it's not over till it's over. But you would have definitely expected a little more from North in this game. One note as well as we have Cadian on the AWP coming into this buy round. None for Sharks. But if we see the pace set again that we just saw in that previous rifle round, a quick A, split, execute, then this AWP could be just nailed out, smoked off, and cut out of this round. We'll see. The Sharks are going to go for the same speed.
Well, it's certainly looking like it right now. My goodness. They are just powering on over here toward the ramp position. And already Gade, he's been bested. He's been taken out by RCF. So now Leo Drunky going to be leading the charge. Already over on the stairs. These rotations coming in from North, but they're still a little ways away. And J&T, by the way, keep your eyes on him. He's over in the apartments coming in on this very late flank. Now, this could be a bit of a double-edged sword. If players start to fall inside of the bomb site, suddenly the pressure's on for Leo. But Leo... he's caught them. He's in the back. Misses that spray, though, and Easy able to pick it up. He might be the savior of North in this round. Kirby's now just denied the bomb plant as well. And J&T, he's got to pick up the pace. He has to be the hero. It's him and Nak left in the 2v3. And this wrap round from J&T, will they see it coming? Cady and Spidey senses are tingling, but the Shark is that much sharper. And now J&T from CT, going to try and keep his eye on the murder hole. Shark's just so mobile. You never know where anyone is if you are the North squad, right? You just spotted Nak over in ramp a little bit earlier on. He's all the way down in mid now. And you can see J&T just waiting on his laurels for Nak to get into position, trying to play this together. And this has been the real difference between these two teams.
Oh, that's a mistake. He accidentally fired, and that's going to give away his position now to Kirby, who was not watching this angle. It could force a fight that works in his favor, though. And Nak's made it work. 19 seconds is on the clock, but AZ's at the back of the site, but J&T's pushed up through CT. And that will be it. Sharks 15-4. They win the rifle round back-to-back, Harry. They break the AWP of Cadian. And a pretty well-played 2v2 despite the error being made. If anything, I think it worked in their favor there, because that split-up connector, while very, very good, no one was watching it. Kiebi was hiding in the jungle waiting for the window boost, and there was a man at the back of the site not peeking as well. With the time being so low, if that missed shot didn't go out and Kiebi didn't take that gunfight, I think North win due to time anyway, or stop that bomb plant in the final few seconds. But we will never know. What we do know, Harry, is it's looking like a bit of a B play.
Yeah, this is just a B-rush here from Sharks. They've caught North completely unaware. Valdez, the only man here. These rotations are going to be barreling back in from the Danes. It's going to be a 5v5 inside of this B-bomb site. Looking like it's straight out of a retake server. And it's Valde who's gone pushing through this smoke. Houdini, eat your heart out as he disappears, but RCF going to go ahead and reveal it. Leo in with another, and it's just Katie and Kirby left standing there, looking like they're going to go ahead and get 16-4 here on this map. Surely not. Surely this isn't what happens to North in front of the, well, sorry, on home soil, but indeed it is. Sharks going to be closing out this first map, 16-4. I cannot say that was the result I was expecting. I mean, I figured Sharks had a good chance of finding their map pick here, but I didn't think it would be that one-sided.
Yeah, that first half from North was just all over the place. I mean, actually, no, it wasn't. It was the opposite. It was all over on one place. It was all over on that A bomb side. We just saw no variety from North, no executes other than standard A smokes and connector plays. And from that point onward, Sharks only needed a couple of rounds on that second half. Harry, there's one thing that we know about these Brazilian players. They are going to be hyped up after that match, and you do not want to be playing up against a hyped Brazilian team going into the second game. But that will be coming up in just a moment. It's North pick of Inferno coming up soon. Join us after the break.
They say it is about the